Come on, please God. Please God. After 6 months of waiting, I finally got my £4,000 Maserati back from Exotic and Supercar, where I spent £3,200 on getting the oil pump replaced. However, after just 50 miles of driving, 2 days after I picked up the car, the belt decided it had had enough and completely snapped. This left me with no alternator and no power steering, but luckily I was able to limp the car home. There's just no way that I want to send this car back to the garage, incurring extra expense with getting it trailered, and so I've decided I need to fix it myself. So of course I wanted to have a go at fixing the car myself, and therefore the first thing to do was remove the old components. Now funnily enough, the belt was very easy to remove, as it had basically done that itself when I was last driving it. And upon inspection you could see a few tear marks and places of abrasion that clearly had been damaged when it was on the car. Before spending any money on replacement parts though, I wanted to of course see if I could remove the belt tightening pulley, which probably proved to be the most difficult thing of all. Access is difficult even when removing the air intake because of these two black pipes that go across the front of the pulley. I didn't have a ratchet thin enough to fit in there, and I couldn't seem to find the right size of spanner. So Maserati has absolutely saved the day, because I can't get anything onto this nut to fit it. Access is tricky, so despite the amount of sockets I've got, believe it's 17mm, I don't have anything to get on there, so I thought a spanner would probably be the best course of action, but I only had biggest size 15mm. But then I remembered the Maserati has a toolkit in the boot, because I cleaned it all up the other day and put it in there, and yeah, so opened up this lovely branded Maserati bag, and I've taken it already, but revealed a beautiful unused 17mm spanner. So the good news is I've been able to get the Maserati 17mm spanner onto this, but you just I can't quite get enough purchase to not like start rounding this nut off, which I don't want to do, even though I think I'll get a replacement nut with it. So I had to get a little bit creative here and come up with some improvisation, by which I loosened the bolt attaching these black pipes to the block just slightly to allow me to get more leverage and a cleaner connection onto the belt tightening pulley bolt, and then I was able to remove it. Hey, I got it. That is it. That is the part that we've been looking at, isn't it? The belt tightening pulley. Belt tensioning pulley is off from there. Just trying to clean up the front of the block here, and you can see, I believe that's the tensioner. This is potentially the power steering pulley, which there's no play, it spins freely. Below we've got the air conditioning compressor pulley, which it's got ever so slightly a tiny bit of play, but it is spinning freely. Got the crankshaft pulley, and then alternator pulley. So I don't think fitting a new belt is going to be all that difficult. We've got some great access here, so I'm going to go ahead and order a new pulley and a belt. So I suppose it's time to get my credit card out again then for the Maserati. This car's just like a supermodel, leggy and extremely sexy, but very high maintenance. But all in all, this was not as bad as you might think. So that's parts ordered, 140 quid including VAT for the belt tensioner pulley and a new belt. Both Maserati genuine parts, ordered them from Euro Spares. But I thought actually while I'm waiting for the parts, I've got the old belt, I might as well have a practice at putting it in, so that when the new thing comes, I'll have a little bit of an idea of what to do. Okay, I'm going to do something quite impatient, potentially stupid now. I've worked out how to put the belt on, which is great, and obviously when I discovered the car the other night, the belt had come away from this, which is the alternator pulley, and obviously this is what caused it. I've actually just put it all sort of back in place, because I want to see if, let's say it just stays on now for starting it up for 30 seconds, I want to see if that has fixed my battery warning light problem and the power steering problem. But obviously it's probably just going to throw the belt immediately again, because that tightening pulley is just completely torn apart. So, but I just want to start it and see what happens. I'm going to give it a go, but I'm probably being stupid here. Obviously, if anything's not right, we'll just switch it off straight away, but let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, I'm scared. Oh yeah, you can hear it squeaking. Yeah. Okay, squeaking, smoking. That's obviously coming from, yeah, okay. Cool, all right, cool, successful test. Because in the few seconds of panic there, I just checked before I just switched it off. You might see it on the video, but on the voltage meter, the red light was not on. So that implies the alternator was working. We saw it on the pulley there, and I just did this and the power steering was working. So yes, I think I have successfully identified the problem. I think I've ordered the correct parts. So I think the belt tightening pulley fitted correctly and a new belt is going to fix it. So I'm happy with that. I'm pleased now to just wait. So now that it's all sorted back together, I'll probably just leave it where it is. And when the new parts arrive, we'll come back to it and take it all apart again, take our time, do it properly. But God, I mean, I never thought I would have been able to change an auxiliary belt. Never, ever in a million years. I mean, this is what you have to do when you plunge yourself into a very cheap, high mileage 20-year-old Maserati. This wouldn't look out of place next to a Ferrari 360, maybe even an F430. It wouldn't look out of place next to a Lamborghini Gallardo. But it costs less than a tenth of what those cars cost you today. So this is sort of what you need to do, is a bit of spannering to make it viable. Although having said that, if I'd taken it back to Exotic and Supercar or somewhere else to do the belt and the pulley, it probably would have only been a few £100. But maybe I've saved myself a couple of £100 doing this, and that is very much welcomed after the big bill that I've just had with this car after it being away for 6 months. So finally the new belt and pulley arrived, and today is the day that I attempt to get my Maserati back on the road. First things first, I removed the air intake to get essential access to that belt tightening pulley. This is really tight, but you can get in with a 17mm spanner. If I was to do this job again, I'd probably try and buy a ratchet that was thin enough to fit in there to make this a lot easier. Once you manage to find an angle and get good purchase onto this nut, then it does come away quite easily. I was particularly excited by the Maserati branded box that the pulley came in, something again I never thought I would be buying. The good news is putting the new pulley in place is just a simple reverse of taking the old one out. Just a couple of things that I imagine you're probably not going to be happy with. I didn't do anything to lubricate the threads, and yes, I am reusing the same bolt. Why am I doing this? Well, all down to a lack of experience, not knowing that the new one wouldn't come with a new bolt, which now seems obvious to me, and then not wanting to wait more time for a new bolt to arrive, just wanting to get the job done, or at least find out if it works. Then the trickiest part of all, but actually something that is really not that tricky, fitting the new belt. With diagrams that I found on Euro Spares, it was quite easy to see the belt routing, and a fantastic post on a Maserati forum with step-by-step instructions. And having practiced this with the old belt a few days before, I managed to do this in about 20 minutes or so. One thing that really helped is soaking the new belt in a hot bucket of water. This softens the compound and helps with its elasticity when you want to fit it. Even so, I enlisted the help of my friend Charlie to just help me get it over the last bit, which was the alternator pulley. But was this all worth it? Is it even going to work, or have I just made the car even worse? Well, in a minute we're going to start it up and find out, so comment below on what you think is going to happen. Right, I'm going to try and start it. I'm scared. It shouldn't make any... If it's making a lot of squeaking noises and smells like rubber burning, then something's not right, and it's going on a trailer. Here we go. Come on, please God. Please God. It's running smooth. That's smooth. I've got no battery warning. I've got my power steering. Air conditioning, let's put the air conditioning on. It is on. Have I just fixed it? I'll just try some, yeah, I'm going to try some slightly higher revs just to see how it goes. So, oh my goodness, I am so happy that the belt went on fine. And yeah, I mean, there's a few things I would have done differently. Like I probably should have ordered a new bolt. I probably should have also got a new tensioner because I'm pretty sure that's made out of the same thing. Maybe a few other things as well. But I did check the general playing condition of the other pulleys and they all seemed fine. But the good news is we started it up, it was running great, but it was just slightly idling funny and there was quite a bit of white smoke. So I decided, and I've topped off the coolant and checked that, it's probably a good idea to just go for a bit of a test drive today. So that's what we're going to do. So this will be the first time you guys actually probably get to hear the car, which I'm excited about. And it's the first time, well, I've really got to drive it since it broke over a week ago. So fingers crossed this all goes well. And maybe, just maybe, it's sorted itself out overnight. I've left it on a C-Tech, like a life support battery conditioner. We'll see. So let's start it up and find out anyway. Maybe it will do this cold start cycle a little bit better than it did yesterday. I don't know. Let's see. She sounds good and that's pretty smooth. I mean, dare I say it, that does feel smoother than yesterday. Oil pressure's good, voltage is good, no warning lights there. I've got my power steering. So let's just let it cold start for a little bit and then we'll go for a little bit of a drive. First miles again in the Maserati, and honestly the first proper miles where you guys can join me. Okay, second gear, so pull, lift, push, nice and smooth, that feels good. Obviously all I've really got to benchmark is the 50 miles that I've done in this car, which isn't a lot, but it did pull strong, it was smooth, and you know, there wasn't really any signs of any issues. It does take some getting used to this gearbox, but yeah, if you work with the method of pull, lift slightly on the throttle and push, it becomes a fairly, almost feels like a ZF change. Up to 40 miles an hour. Yeah, she's driving lovely at the moment. Wow. I'm so pleased with myself, despite whatever might happen with this car. I'm so happy that I managed to fit that belt because, well, I'm driving it again. Just a few days ago, it was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get it recovered back onto a truck. Into 6th gear, all the gears are working well. And I'm not gonna go into it too much because I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is such a nice car to drive. Not is it, it's not a nice car to drive, it's a sporty car, but it is so exciting. It's so visceral. It's more, it feels more like a motor car than anything else I've owned before. The noises, the smells, whether they're meant to be there or not. It smells like an old race car, this, and I love it. And that gearbox, although it is on paper absolutely terrible in every single conception of the word, for me, with this being a 21-year-old car now and my daily driver being a Jag XF with a beautifully smooth ZF 6-speed, this adds a level of eventfulness for me. Wow, just a beautiful car, and I'm only going, what, 2/10 on the throttle there, and it just, the engine, you know, has so much more to give. What a masterpiece. Despite all its issues, it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing, this. All right, 3rd gear. Downshifts are really nice. I'm gonna just go half power now. There you go, foot down. Okay. Okay, I'm happy, she's doing well. Maserati! I cannot believe that all it took was learning how to and fixing the belt on my driveway, and now I've got this gorgeous, beautifully sounding, fully functioning Maserati. Well, okay, it's not as simple as that, because of course I paid £4,000 for the car, ended up having to wait 6 months for it after spending about another £4,000 in total on getting it repaired. So from a financial perspective, this may not have been the best decision ever, surprise, surprise. However, I've already learnt so much from repairing this car, and I cannot wait to spend more time behind the wheel. I have some excellent things planned for the Maserati in next week's video, so do make sure to give this one a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one very, very soon.